Hello everyone, my name is Greg and I dev stuff. Welcome everyone to the fourth episode of the Godot engine tutorial. In this episode we will be implementing a very simple basic clicker game. So today we will be making a very simple clicker game. I don't think I need to explain how clicker games works. So for this episode let's create a new project and choose a 2D scene as a template. So let's start by adding the empty node to store our GUI. GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. Add Canvas Layer node. This is Canvas drawing layer. Canvas item nodes that are direct or indirect children of a canvas layer will be drawn in that layer. So any nodes which inherit from canvas item will be drawn if they are placed on this canvas. And for GUI elements, we will be using the control type nodes, which will inherit from the canvas items. There is a bunch of those nodes, but in this episode we will be using label and base button and texture button. Let's add two labels. You can find labels in canvas item control, or just use search, as I do. One will be for cookies count. And second one, instead of creating node, I just simply duplicate the already existing label node by pressing Ctrl+D. And then I renamed it to be cookies per second. Place them on screen and stretch the text field so we will be able to put more text into it. If you look into the inspector, you can see text field. You can write text here, which will be printed inside the label. We can change the alignment of the text. Alignment is horizontal alignment and alignment is vertical alignment. Next is auto wrap. If it is checked, that will mean that if your text reaches the end of the line, it will wrap itself down the line rather than expand the line to fit itself. Everything else inside the label is mostly small utilities. If it will be interesting for you, you can always hover over the field to learn what it does to your node. We will discuss control and canvas item later on. Good, now we want to add two buttons. First one will be texture button, which will depict the cookie on the screen, which your player need to click. We will be using Godot icon instead of the cookie icon. In the inspector expand the textures and you can see the different states of the button. For each of those states you assign sprites. For example, you have a normal state. The texture which will be assigned here will be depicted on this button if this button is not being interacted or clicked or hovered or anything else, or simply put, is in idle state. Let's put our Godot icon here. I changed the Godot icon in the PaintNet a little. I made it smaller. So we will use this smaller version of Godot icon for pressed state. So if we launch the project right now, after we save our scene node and try to press on the button, you will see that when you press, the smaller icon will appear and replace the normal icon. But it will be a little offset. To fix this, check Expand and select Keep Center Mode. We will be coming back to all other texture state and everything else on this node later on. Rename this button to Cookie button. Then create another new Just Simple button, or as it properly called, Base button. Let's rename it immediately and call it the Upgrade button. The difference between Texture and Base button is that in Texture button you can place textures which will change depending on the state of the button, while the Base button is just that, a simple boring clickable button. You still can add an icon, but it will be placed inside the Base button outline. Good, select the scene node and let's attach the new C# script to it. Let's call it game loop. Let's declare two integer variables, cookie count and cookies per second, with a default value of 0. Now, because we are making a clicker game, if we press the cookie button, we want to add to the cookies count. To do that, we need to utilize signals. Select the cookie button and at the right side, look at the right side of the inspector. Click Node. Inside this doc, you can see the list of all signals which this node possesses. Signals are Godot version of the observer pattern. They allow a node to send out a message that other nodes can listen for and respond to. For example, rather than continuously checking a button to see if it's being pressed, the button can emit a signal when it is pressed. We will be utilizing those signals a lot over the course of this tutorial and when you will be developing the game on Godot. Let's begin by using the button down signal, which is being emitted when the button starts being pressed. Double click on this signal and then select the scene node with our game loop script. As you can see, this pre-generates the callback inside the game loop script. Think about it like this. When you press the button, everything what is inside the body of this method will be executed. But to have access to our variable inside the game loop class, we need to move our signal body into the game loop class. To do that, cut out this newly created signal implementation and move it inside the bracket of the game loop class. Good. When player presses the cookie button, we want to add one cookie into our cookies count. So now we want to print out the total amount of cookies we have on the screen. To do that, we want to store the reference to our label on the scene into the variable and update it every time we press the button. Declare the variable where we will be storing the reference to ours label. So it will be of type label and we will call it total cookies label. Then in the ready assign to this variable the get node, and inside the get node parameter we need to put the path to this label. But how to do that? Well, right mouse button click on the cookie count node on the scene and click copy node path. This will save the path into your buffer to this node, which then we can put into our parameter by simply pressing Ctrl V. But we are not done. GetNode will return the node, but we want to store it as a label. To do that, we have to cast that returned node into the label, and it will work because label is inherited from the node. Now if we call cookies count label.text equals cookie count.toString on the button press, then launch the game. If we press the button, it will add cookies into our cookies count and update the label on the scene. Good. Now we want to create the system where we will be able to acquire the cookies over time by using upgrades. Add the button down signal to our game loop. Move this signal into the body of our game loop. So what we want to do now is to check, do you have enough cookies to upgrade, which is 10 cookies. If yes, decrease the amount of cookies by 10 and increase the cookies per second by 1. Update the cookies count label. Now we want to update the label with the cookies per second. For that, store the reference to the label into the variable, same as we did with total cookie count. Good, now if we have 10 cookies and we press the button, it should show that we have 1 cookie per second. But it is just that, a text on the screen. We need to implement some kind of system to add cookies every second. To do that, add a new node called timer. Select the timer and in the inspector you can see process mode. It has two modes. Physics, update the timer during the physics step at each frame, fixed frame rate process. And idle, update the timer during the idle time at each frame. For now just use idle, we will be covering physics 1 later. Wait time is the amount of time to pass before timer will emit signals that it is timed out. 1 means 1 second between each time outs. One shot, if it is true, the timer will stop after it timed out once. After start, if this is true, when the timer node enters the scene, it will automatically start. Otherwise, you will need to manually launch the timer. We need to check this as true, because we want to start our cookie timer right after the start of the game. Then open signals and you can see timeout signal. Timeout fires up every time when the timer counts down the wait time. So attach the signal to our game loop. Move it inside our game loop body and simply add the cookies per second to our cookies and update the labels. Let's test this. Good. This will be it for this episode. If you have any questions or any recommendations, please leave your comment below. If you are interested in seeing what will come out of this, please subscribe. If you want to support further, you can find my Patreon in the description. With best regards, see you in the next episode.